Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in our Nelson Tasman Regional News Roundup. Habitat makes good progress. Abuse cases reach regional high. Local musician single tops the charts across the Tasman, and more. Habitat for Humanity has been busy building, and Mainland News went to see the progress that good volunteers from Canada have been making for Habitat for Humanity. Their mission in being here is to build houses for those who would otherwise find it impossible to have a house of their own. Alan, last time I talked to you, you were a bit worried that you'd come here and work away for a few weeks and then go away and you wouldn't see much progress. How are you feeling now?
I don't have that worry any longer. As a matter of fact, I happen to be wearing the t-shirt from a build that I did in El Salvador several years ago. And at about this time, we had now made a few holes in the ground. That was it for the foundation. And then our trip was over and we went home. And here we have two houses that look like they could be occupied already. We came here 8 or 9 days ago. We just had the wood platform at the bottom, and now we have all the walls up. The roofs are all done. It's insulated. The windows are being delivered today, and it's the sides have been painted. It's just wonderful. It's fantastic. It's a great experience, especially for the first-time people to be able to see. I mean, we can really visualize it. You can see that the home partners are here with us, Chung and John and their families. Chung the other day was giving us a tour of his new house and describing who was going to be in this room and what color the walls were going to be painted. And it's really a thrill for all of us to be able to visualize that. And then we think back to the story we've heard of them 15 years ago as they leave their home country and migrate through, and here they are today. So it's a wonderful day for us, and I think it's a great day for Habitat.
Great. Oh yeah, sure is. It's quite amazing. You think this kind of building construction you might take to another place? You could use somewhere else?
Well, I'm no builder, but I think that I could actually build a house with this. It's basically like a Lego set. They all come numbered, and 1 goes into 2, and 2 goes into 3, and you've got the plan, and it goes up relatively quickly. So if you can get a few of your neighbors and your family along, I mean, you could put up maybe not a full-size house, but certainly a shed or a garage within a weekend. I mean, I think this is very practical, extremely practical.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Wednesday just gone was official White Ribbon Day, with the event goal to eliminate men's violence towards women. SASH, Sexual Abuse Support and Healing, based in Nelson and more recently in Motueka, have seen a steady increase in their services over these past 3 years, with an increase of 163 clients in the last year. Chrissy Small spoke to the service coordinators, Sarah Jane McMillan, about the service for victims and their families.
Sarah Jane McMillan is the coordinator of the Sexual Abuse Support and Healing, otherwise known as SASH. Sarah, we've just had White Ribbon Day, and look, has that movement, has that awareness helped at all in violence, sexual violence towards the women and children?
Yeah, definitely it has made a difference. When you look at the build-up of starting with White Ribbon of it's not okay, and then their second message coming through that it is okay to ask for help, I think it really is making a difference, and we see that with more reporting of family violence these days.
Now, Sarah Jane, you've obviously got a small team here. I can't imagine there's a huge amount of money in this for you.
No, it's an NGO, a non-for-profit, so that's just kind of the way that we work. It's, we've got to work within the limitations that we've got, but I think we provide a really good service, even given those financial limitations.
So where does the funding come from?
We've got funding that comes from everywhere. So we've got a number of government contracts, and recently includes our new service over out of Motueka, and then your normal community funders, lotteries, the Rata Foundation, lots of little grants, and we also have sensitive claims contract, which brings income in, as well as our Mates and Dates ACC Healthy Relationships program. So.
Okay, so look, there's a lot of work that goes into funding this. When I say that, I mean, does that take you away from the support work, trying to get the money in to continue the support work? Does that take you away from the support work at all?
Well, no, not for me, because I'm the service coordinator, so my focus is the service. We've got an administrator who does all the funding stuff, so I help out and describe the services that we do, but she does the bulk work around funding, so it leaves me open to be able to focus on what I need to.
Right. Okay, so we've just had the White Ribbon Day. I've recently just spoken to the Street Ambassadors Coordinator, and look, you work closely with them and other organisations. Can you tell me a bit about the work that you do with those organisations?
It's really important for us to partner with organisations so that they all know what our service is, what we provide and how to access that service, because often our service isn't that first point of disclosure. It will be with postnatal depression support or somebody at the Street Ambassadors. So it's really important that all our partner agencies know what we do and how to access us.
Right. Okay, what about those victims out there? How do they access you? Do they have to go through the police, or can they come knocking on your door?
Oh, they can absolutely come knocking on our door. We work with people who have recently been abused as well as those with historic complaints. You know, we have women coming through our doors that have spent 50 years living with their abuse and never disclosed to anyone. So it doesn't have to be a process that's gone via the police. We've got our frontline services which are really important. So we have a crisis response team that are on 24/7 and they support immediate incidents or historic complaints being reported to the police. And then we've got our ongoing advocacy and support. We have counsellors, we've got ACC counsellors, as well as we provide court support. So we do that continuity of care for our clients, but we're also really strongly focused on prevention and education, and you know that's the key. It's great that we've got such a great service for survivors, but we need to stop this happening in the first place, and so we have a huge focus on that prevention stuff as well.
That's great. Now tell me, in our little region of Nelson, Tasman, is there a lot of that kind of abuse out there?
Oh, it's everywhere. I mean, you know, we like to think that we live in this beautiful sunny town, as you can see by today, but unfortunately it's happening in all pockets of our community, all pockets of our society, and that's really important. We can't stop this from happening unless we acknowledge that it's happening here, and so, you know, that's our focus. We've got to be out there, we've got to be talking about it, and we've got to keep talking about it. We can't just get kind of outraged at one thing and then let it die down. We've got to keep that momentum going.
With the White Ribbon, it's more about men making the pledge to not go down the road of violence. Now, what is your advice to anyone that knows of a friend who's committing such an act? What's your advice to those people?
We've got some great services for perpetrators of violence here in Nelson, and it's about reaching out, and stuff's going on for them, and so they need help as well as the victims needing help. You know, we can't just help victims, we have to help perpetrators stop perpetrating. So we've got great services, and it's the same whether it's a perpetrator or a victim. Reach out and say, hey, can I help?
Well, Sarah Jane, thank you very much. You do a great job.
Thank you.
Hopefully one day we won't need you.
No, exactly. That's our ultimate goal, is to not be needed and for our service to be just completely washed away.
To kick off the magical festive season, Melrose House will have its Christmas lights switched on in the annual Light Up Nelson event, for the first time this year by Nelson Mayor Rachel Reese on Friday evening. Mainland's Chrissy Small went along to Melrose House and spoke to Margot Wilson about what is coming up for us to enjoy at this beautiful historic house.
Margot, we're in beautiful Melrose House. Now you've got something really going on here this year for the Christmas season that should actually be something that everyone would love to come and see. Tell me about what's going on here.
Yes, thank you for asking. Welcome to an Eye Bright Christmas at Melrose. We have never done this before. This is a new fundraising initiative this year, and Eyebright have generously agreed to set up this beautiful shop that they've filled absolutely to the brim with gorgeous Christmas items. So make sure that when you're thinking of buying a gift or a stocking stuffer or something beautiful for your home, come here to Melrose House. You can come and visit the cafe. You can bring a picnic and picnic on the grounds. A lot of people don't realize that the grounds of Melrose House are actually a public park. So this is owned by the community. So this fundraiser will help raise funds, much needed funds, to completely refurbish and remodel our entire restroom area on the ground floor and make them as absolutely stunning as the rest of the house.
Now, Margot, funding is always a problem in maintaining houses of this calibre. Where does the rest of the money come from? Because it must cost a lot of money.
The funding and care and maintenance of the historic properties in Nelson are a wee bit of an effort, but graciously, Nelson City Council maintains the grounds for us. The Melrose Society maintains, through its own initiatives and grants that we apply for, the interior. So the community is probably aware that the interior of the house has been pretty much nearly completely now redone. We were actually closed for a while this past winter to get the chimneys completely rebuilt for earthquake strengthening and safety. So we lost a bit of momentum there. And now we're doing this initiative for the only thing left to do completely are the restrooms. So we're doing that. But for this fundraiser, we've also been promised a grant from the Rada Foundation, which used to be called Canterbury Community Trust. Nelson City Council has come to the table. They will be donating quite a large amount of money. And then we ourselves are looking to raise a significant amount of cash, and we will be looking for donations of fittings and fixtures, wallpaper, time, labor, all of those things. And if you are a builder yourself or have a talent for woodworking, carpentry, joinery, plumbing, anything, and you want to donate some time, we would graciously accept that. And in kind, we will be happy to promote you. We will probably even be putting up a plaque near the restroom area that says names everyone who's so generously helped us.
And with the cafe there, well, there's not going to be a shortage of food and drink, is there?
Correct.
The arcade at the refinery has made history a hands-on experience for many of the Xbox and iPad age group. I went to the refinery to see some of the games in action and spoke with John Paul Pochin, who has created a couple of games from recycled material. John Paul, we went to your place and saw it all in the making, and now seeing it up and out, it's just fantastic. It's not just about games, it's about recycling. Can you tell us a little bit more about that side of it?
Yeah, well, it's, like I say, it's a project about cycling and recycling. So the bike, some people might recognise it from Light Nelson. So this was in the first Light Nelson event we had. So not only was it recycled for that, it's now a recycled art project as well. There's various parts of this project that have come from the Recycle Centre. This is a recycled projector. It was broken and switching off, and yeah, for $5 we've got a projector for this project. We've got an old printer being used here, and various bits and pieces. And this is about sort of showing that things still have a use. You know, there's a lot of stuff that just ends up in the recycle centre and actually in the ground. They can't even give away a lot of the things. We throw away printers when they run out of ink, which seems to be obscene since there's so many useful stuff in them. And this is partly a demonstration of that. We used it for something completely different here, but it's a bit of fun. So this is a project around technology. It's showing off, you know, what can be done. There's 2 computers running this. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. It's an ongoing project. I want people to come down and see the evolution of it. And you know, I'm working through problems, and it's still a lot of fun. And kids have just been coming on and cycling on it, cycling on it while I've been trying to paint it, which has been quite funny. So yeah, it's about cycling as well. So it's the obstacles that we have in terms of getting cycleways put through, and the people that are, you know, it's going to have physical obstacles on here that represent various aspects of the struggle that we have, particularly on Rocks Road, trying to get a cycleway on there. So this project's called Rocky Road.
Great. So thanks very much.
Yeah, this is, I called it a social seed. The idea was to create a generic box that you could just put in place somewhere. People would come across it, they wouldn't know what it was, they would interact with it, they would maybe get some other people to interact with it as well. And after a while, hopefully you've got people just coming together, you know, maybe strangers that just start talking about it, interacting with it in the street. So it came from an idea of, you know, when you go to somewhere like Vietnam and people are playing chess, and as people are playing chess, another group comes around and you know, starts watching the game. So it's just a social seed. So hopefully it will just seed that social interaction is the idea.
And having these multiple players doing things, is this a spin-off like the old, is it Simon Says game?
Yeah, so the first game that I put on here is essentially a Simon game where you have to repeat a pattern. The children behind me are not doing particularly well on that. But the idea is to have a box that has a number of sensors. It's got solar panels on it, so it's self-powered, self-contained. Ultimately, it would be weatherproof and hopefully vandal-proof as well. But this is just a prototype to try and get that idea across.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
The arcade is free and will be running until this Saturday the 28th, and no money to play is required. Nelson-born country music artist Ali Cook has just returned home to Nelson again and could be accused of keeping Air New Zealand in business with the amount of flight miles this lady has clocked up since becoming an indie artist on her own label. Ali also has a background in event promoting and has now put that energy into her own musical career. And it seems it's finally paying off with chart success across the Tasman. Chrissy Small caught up with Ali near her home this week.
Rhythm of dancing shoes, marching to 1, 2 smooths.
Ali Cook, it's lovely to be down here at the lovely Kina Beach.
Yay, good to be home.
Yeah, your stomping ground, of course. Now, look, we seem to catch you at the end of these events that you do overseas, and you've just come back from another one, but we've just had an event in New Zealand, of course, which is the New Zealand Music Awards, where Nelson Group, the Broods, walked away with 4 tuis and the best album of the year. So, but you've got some great news yourself. So tell us a bit about how well you're doing in Australia, your new album and a single from it.
Yeah, so this week I went to #1 on the Australian country charts.
Yeah.
So with Midnight Cowboys, my song over there. So that was really exciting and something I didn't anticipate. And I mean, I thought that it would go up, but I didn't think it would go from 39 to 1 with a bullet. And so I was pretty excited about that.
So this is your first #1 single in Australia? On
it's my first #1 single, full stop. But yeah, so real excited, really unexpected, and it's the second single from the album. There's been a pre-release and one other single, and they've both gone on to the top 20 charts. No Phone, No Mail, No Internet went to #5, but I've never, it set a record for the chart as well. So the chart's never had any other song go 39 to 1.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the #1 song. Who are the players on it?
Okay, so Nick Brown from the Waratahs, he played fiddle, and Paul Kingery from Three Dog Night, who was over here last year with the concerts. He came and played some guitar on it. Jim from Highway, Jimmy Laurie from Highway, he played drums, and also Brent Hayward, who was one of the songwriters on the song, he played acoustic guitar, and Graham Brazier, the late Graham Brazier, played harmonica on it.
That's a heck of a lineup, isn't it?
It is, and then the co-songwriter on that's Alan Jansen, who is the producer and co-wrote one of New Zealand's biggest hits ever, which was How Bizarre. Yeah.
Okay, so the album itself, it's a great album. Does it get the actual #1 charts? Is that from radio plays in Australia?
Yeah, so the charts actually garnered from about 600 radio stations, both commercial country networks, which we don't have in New Zealand, and ABC channel, and also all of the community stations. So there are lots of community stations.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, New Zealand, it's a little bit of a different fish, isn't it?
It is.
We've got a situation, I mean, the Broods are getting lots of play here, Lord, it seems the young artists that are signed to big labels are doing it well, but as an independent, are you struggling with that?
Oh, absolutely. No, it comes right down to what's signed to the majors and airplay. That's when you get right down to it. I don't think young or indifferent makes any difference. It's just it's just the big corporates. We could start on about TPPA right here at this moment, but we won't. But anyway, so yeah, it's just it's one of those things. They're corporate, and also the other aspect that works against country as a genre is there's no networks here that are commercial networks that are country. So there's just nowhere to get your music played here, really.
Seems a bit of a shame because we have people like big country artists like the girl Swift.
Yeah.
I don't know my country.
Okay.
And so she's doing it well, and she's getting lots of radio play here apparently.
Yeah.
But it seems, and your music, listening to it, there's some really ethnic-y sounding music on there. The didgeridoo that you've got through one of your songs is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it country, it's more crossover.
Yeah.
There's songs there that would be quite acceptable on New Zealand radio, but
Oh, absolutely.
but obviously we come back to the few that do the programming here in New Zealand for radio.
Yeah, it's down to horses for courses really, and to the person that's listening to it. In saying that, I've had some airplay on a commercial network here that has a country show once a week, but there's no, for example, the new video that's been done by Ken Khan, it's all CGI, it's a lovely video, which I hope you guys will play. There's not many places apart from places like Mainland television community channels that you can get you can't get a music video played basically anywhere in New Zealand right now. Yeah. There is no channels dedicated to it anymore, and especially country music, there's no country music channel like there is in Australia. You've got CMC country music channel, so there's none of that here. So it's really that the genre is not catered for in this country.
Well, Ellie, it seems a real shame, but that's not stopped you in the past, and I'm sure it's not going to stop you in the future.
No, not at all. It just means I have to leave my beautiful home and go to Australia more often, That's all it means, is there's a market for me there and not really a market for me here. But maybe that'll change. Maybe if I make myself bigger outside of New Zealand, I might get played here. And it might be like Taylor Swift, where it's actually country music, and we all know Taylor's start was in country, but the radio stations here like to refer to her as pop.
Right.
Rather than country, but the reality of it is that she came through country music, and that she's at the CMA Awards as a country music artist, and she crosses over. Well,
maybe next year we might see you up there at the New Zealand Music Awards.
Oh, you never know.
Nominated for Best Album of the Year. So, but I guess the way people can get in behind Ellie is to go to iTunes.
Yeah, I mean, downloading the single right now, which is the Midnight Cowboys radio mix on iTunes, or getting Horseshoe Radio Hotel, the album, if you want to do that, that's really helpful. And you can get albums, I know the Warehouse has them. So lots of your normal retailers, if you want to get a CD. Not that many of us have CDs these days, because they don't sort of make computers even that discs go in, but most people are on the digital, so you just go Google it.
Yeah.
You'll find it with Mr. Google.
Well, Ellie Cook, it's been a real pleasure, and I'm sure we'll see and hear more of you as your album gets closer to topping the charts.
Yeah, thank you.
Could have even turned the tide.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the
elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time. Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar, 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Stoke Seniors December event for Thursday, December the 3rd. Talented singer-pianist Frank Maria with his Christmas concert starts 1:30 p.m. and $3 entry includes afternoon tea. It's at Stoke Seniors Hall, 548 Main Road, Stoke. Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from the Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Nelson Tire Centre, great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer, all types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service. If you ever get a puncture or a flat battery, we have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.